All right, looks like we officially live. Oh man. So let's go ahead and jump into topic number one, which is basically the um secret invasion topic. I've wanted to talk about this one for a while now. So if a lot of y'all don't know, well, I'm sure a lot of y'all actually do know. So when it comes to the secret invasion topic, man, um, it's been a hot thing to talk about because it's like a lot of people have been like talking negatively about this because it's not some big superhero mashup, bang up TV show. It's a slow grind, James Bond, Mission Impossible kind of thing going on with um I almost what the character's name, Dead Damn Fast. Shoot, I forgot his name. Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury character. And it's like, yo, I'm enjoying this show. I'm enjoying the slow burn of it. I'm enjoying watching, this show kind of do its thing week by week. A small part of me would like to binge watch the whole thing, but I know that people will probably just jump to the ending and just get to whatever the finale is rather than talk about everything else that happened in the middle. So for me, it feels good to be able to watch this and talk about it as a show on a weekly thing versus, a whole season. But I think from what I've read, it's like one of the least most watched shows or something like that right now. And I say the same thing about these shows that I say about the movies that I watch. You got to go in with a open mind. You can't go in with all these high expectations and be like, "Oh, well, I expected this, 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 and that," and it doesn't happen. Because when it doesn't happen, then you're gonna be upset. That's just my opinion of it. You got to go in with low expectations. Because when people go in with these high expectations with these Marvel movies and these DC movies, and they disappoint you, then what? Everybody had high expectations for uh Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I had no expectations because I didn't know what to really expect, but everybody was expecting to see all these different versions of Tony Stark. Um, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen, and people were left disappointed. I went in with no expectations or low expectations, and I left out the movie happy. I was happy. I enjoyed the movie, so I can't complain. Give me a second. I'm trying to share this on Twitter real quick. Just to let anybody know who's new coming to this live stream, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Your boy is grinding away, trying to get his watch time hours towards 4,000 by the end of this year. So, like I said, I'm gonna be live streaming at least once a week. I'll try for twice a week, but at least once a week. Um, so kind of bear with me here right now. But I've been enjoying the show, man. I don't understand why people don't like it. Is because it's not like I said, a big superhero mashup. I understand that maybe people who know the the lore of the characters and everything like that, and the lore of the story probably happy because it had to be broken down to fit. But I know it had to be broken down to fit the MCU. So instead of it being like a whole saga, I think that would have been cool if they would have like cut some of the Kang Dynasty off and then made this into a whole saga. I think that would have been cool. But it is what it is. Um, I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun with it. Uh, I like kind of seeing this broken Nick Fury. You know what I mean? He's not like this. I got it all figured out, Nick Fury. He's on his own. And that scene between him and Rhodey in the second episode, woo, that was something crazy to see. So, I'm happy. I'm enjoying it. I want to see where they go with it. Um, I'm looking forward to episode three. I'm looking forward to episode three. So definitely check out my review for that when it pops up. So aside from all that, um, the second thing I wanted to talk about is, which is basically the main topic I wanted to talk about, is the Flash. So I finally got a chance to catch this last night because I haven't watched anything else yet. As y'all can see, I already changed the title of this live stream to the Flash live stream instead of the movie review because I'm still catching up on movies. But the second thing I did want to talk about is, like I said, the Flash, and I see a lot of people talking about this And in my opinion, I thought the movie was okay. I thought the movie was okay. I didn't think it was a great movie. I didn't think it was a terrible movie. I thought it was an okay movie. My issue with the movies was the CGI. It was the same thing everybody else had issues with. It was the CGI, and I just thought that the CGI just should have looked better than what it did, and it looked like crap. Now I did watch Tyrone Magnus's live stream a couple of days ago, where he was talking about the Flash when he saw it and how the movie was going to be, how the movie I guess was going to be fixed or was supposed to be fixed, and come to find out, it wasn't. The movie to me was okay, but I think they should have went and got I think they should have went with the story from the animated movie. Now, I understand they would have had to change some things because obviously the Justice League and the DCU being in the state that it's in. But I think it would have been better that way versus the way that they did it. That's my opinion. The CGI for one, trash. There was a scene at the beginning of the movie where Barry is going to leave these babies flying out of the window, and they're all CGI babies. Now I understand that having real babies, falling out the window, but the CGI babies look terrible. And there's certain part in the beginning in that same scene where he ends up rushing to get his metabolism back up, so he grabs a burrito and stuff from the snack fridge rather than save the baby. His suit in this movie. When I saw it in the trailer, I thought it looked good. But then when I saw it in the movie, I thought it looked kind of weird because it's like he has like these lines that goes through his suit. And so when he gets ready to run, it lights up. And I thought that was just kind of weird. And speaking of him running, I think it's gotten worse compared to when he did the last was the Justice League films. It's like he has to get into this skater motion where he's like kind of like this before he takes off, and it's just really strange. Like I was trying to find videos of him. I was looking at the videos of him running, and I was watching somebody else who did a review on this, and they were talking about his running versus the running of Pietro in X Men. I think it was Apocalypse or something like that, or one of the other movies he starred in. And I really, there really wasn't much comparison that I could do because Pietro's running, you know, he is already at the scene of where he needs to go. So he's kind of like zips in, saves somebody, and then zips out. You don't see him running for a super long stretch of time like you do with Barry. The closest I can compare his running to is the Barry from a television show. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Because I gotta see this real quick to see Barry running in the TV show versus Barry running in the movies. Like, what's the difference? I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see. Give me a second here because I'm really curious to see how the running is in the TV show versus how the running is in the movies. Is it as bad? But I just thought his running in this movie looked really, really, yeah. Like no parts of him running look good. Um, let me see. Like it doesn't look good in the TV show either. Like the CGI in the TV show looks bad, but I guess I'd rather deal with this than see what we got in the movie. I don't know. It's something about the running where he has to get into this skater motion, and it looks so funky and so weird. But when you see him run in the TV show, I mean, it looks weird because of the CGI and everything like that. But I'm trying to find a scene where it's him running to kind of compare the running scenes. So kind of bear with me here for a minute. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. The running in the TV show, it doesn't look as bad as running in the movies. The running in the movies, it just looks really weird. I guess if the CGI was better, the TV show it would be, it would look better. And it's a TV show, so I can let that go. Um, Bruce Wayne's Batman, not Bruce Wayne's Batman, but Ben Affleck's Batman in this movie, he was okay. I have problems with his suit though. Like the blue and the gray, I didn't have a problem with, but the way that they made the suit look, with the chest piece connected to the middle, it just gave me an issue because it was just like it didn't work for me the way that his suit looked. Um, the chest piece connected to the middle, the cape and the cowl. It was really weird. It was really weird. And then he had kind of like this little, I don't know, some type of stripe or something on the side. Like they should have just left him in the suit that he wore in the Justice League movie, in the Justice League movie from 2017 or 2019, whatever year those movies came out. He should have just stuck in that suit because this suit was really weird. Um, so to give you all the backstory, Barry goes back in time to save his mom. And this part, I ain't gonna lie, really did freak me out a little bit. When he's running back in time, it's not like I'm trying not to compare it to a TV show, but I had to at this moment. When he runs back in time in the TV show, when Grant Gustin runs back in time, it's almost like he's running in a tunnel, and you see all these old memories and stuff that he's had of things that he's went through. And so then in the movie, when Barry's running, he's almost in like this little ball, and he's like running in place, and around him it's almost like he's in an arena, and you see all these images of things that he's went through, and it looks really scary to me, honestly, because it's like he's running in this bubble. He's not running in like a tunnel. He's running in a bubble. So then he gets punched out of time and ends up in the past. And so his mom is alive, his dad is out of jail, and as soon as he like looks up from the table, he sees another version of himself. But this version of Barry doesn't have his powers before he got his powers. And basically, I'm gonna just put it like this: post, well, President Barry and past Barry. Past Barry is an idiot. I don't like his character through the whole entire movie, all up until about the very end during the fight scenes. But President Barry, it's like the way I put it is like this: President Barry is the Flash that we got in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Past President Barry is the 2020 Justice League Zack Snyder's movie. Past Barry is the Zack Snyder. I mean, is the character we got in the 2017 film. I didn't really care for his character. Um, he was just goofy and idiot. He was annoying through the whole film. I thought his, I just didn't care for his character. All right, so Barry has to get President Barry has to get young Barry um, to get his powers. And so he takes him to his job and he tries to set him down in a chair. But young Barry is like, no, I ain't trying to get shot by lightning and all this other stuff. And so then they both get hit with lightning. And it goes through President Barry into Past Barry. And in so many words, you find out that President Barry lost his powers. Now Past Barry has them. But Past Barry is really, really an idiot, and he doesn't know how to use the powers correctly. He's doing dumb stuff. The guy is just goofy. So then they go to get help from Bruce Wayne, but it's not the Bruce Wayne that we all know as Ben Affleck, as y'all know in the trailer. It is Michael Keaton. And they go to Michael Keaton to get help. Michael Keaton's kind of like this old scruffy dude, long hair, full facial hair. You know, he hasn't been Batman for some time because I guess Gotham's in a better place now. That he doesn't need to be Batman anymore. And so he reluctantly decides to help him after Barry talks to him, President Barry. And they go to free Superman because he finds out Zod's coming. And so they come to find out that it's not Superman, it's Supergirl. So Barry going back in time changed a lot of things. And I'm gonna say this: I would have preferred Henry Cavill in this spot over Supergirl. I think the actress did a good job with what she had, but I felt like she we never got a chance to really click with her character because we never got a chance to know her character because she wasn't in anything before this. So it made no sense why they never just put Henry Cavill in that spot in the first place. And there are some scenes of Henry Cavill, but it's like CGI pictures where Barry's running back in time, and you see all the memories he's had with the Justice League. One of them is Henry Cavill, where he's like kind of standing in front of the I guess the statue of himself, and that's it. That's all it is. But I just think Henry Cavill should have been in that spot. So they go back to get um, they come to find out that it's Supergirl instead of Superman. And I guess when Supergirl and Superman were, trying to get away from their destroying the destroyed worlds, the pilots separated. And so she ended up crashing on Earth, got caught, and got put into this cell by the Russians or something like that, and just never let go. So she just never learned how to develop her powers and all that other stuff. She, she did a okay job for what this movie gave her. I'm trying to think what her name is. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, Sasha Kelly. Sasha Kelly was Supergirl in this movie. Sasha Kelly did an okay job. We just didn't get to know her character before this, so we don't really know anything about her to have a attachment to her character. You know what I mean? And so they get into the big fight with Zod, and Zod kills Supergirl. Not Ben Affleck, but I just forgot that fast. Um, Michael Keaton's Batman, of course, dies. And so Barry is trying to explain, present Barry is trying to explain to young Barry, no matter how many times we go back and try and change the situation, it's never going to change. This world is meant to die. And, I have to go back and do what I have to do, which is to let mom die. Now, it does show their mom, in the kitchen with a stab onto her chest with a knife, but it doesn't show who did it. Of course, it's not like it was in the TV show where it happened during the nighttime. In this movie, it happens during the day. The dad left to go to a store to get like some tomatoes, and then when he comes home, his wife was stabbed. So he had his hand on the knife. So maybe that's why the cops figure, oh, you did it because your fingerprints are on the knife. So Barry ends up basically saving the timeline, and he goes to see his mom one more time before he goes back to the present day. And it was really heartfelt, you know what I mean? Because obviously, watching a TV show, or if you know the history of this character, you know what Barry's mom means to him. And so Barry, what does he do? Barry takes the tomato, put it back where it's supposed to be, and then he looks up, sees the camera because it's in the same aisle his dad was standing in. And so then fast forward, yeah, he ends up back in his time and everything's saved. Forgot to mention, before all of that, when Barry and young Barry try to go back to fix things, they're in that bubble, almost in the arena part again. Current Barry is trying to talk to young Barry and let him know, look, we can't do nothing to fix this. And all of a sudden, a time remnant or whatever shows up and it's trying to kill present Barry. And he's basically been saying he's been at this a long time. And he starts showing them all the other worlds and how they're all colliding, how they're all going to crash into his current world. Um, and it shows a cameo of all of the different Superman actors and a Supergirl. I'm not sure who the chick was. It even shows Nicolas Cage, his failed Superman character, fighting some type of spider creature. You clearly see his face, but it's all CGI. And I feel like this movie was okay. So anyway, aside from all that, Barry goes back to his main time, and uh he figured out, I guess when he was back in time, most goofiest thing was to move the tomatoes to the top of the shelf so that the camera sees his dad's face, so that his dad ends up having an alibi so he doesn't go to jail. So then his dad gets freed, and then he's outside talking to the reporters on how he figured this out and all this other stuff. And then he's on the phone with Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne pulls up. And surprise, surprise, cameo appearance, it's George Clooney. It's not Ben Affleck. And overall, I thought this movie was okay. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. The CGI was garbage. There were certain scenes in the movie where President Barry was talking to young Barry, and the CGI looked like trash. Whether you were looking at President Barry's face or past Barry's face, and the CGI looked like garbage. I'm sitting there looking at past Barry certain times where present Barry is talking to him, and it looks fine. And then a lot of spots it looks bad because it's like the face just looks so distorted. There's a part where when Barry doesn't have his powers, he's trying to teach young Barry how to use the powers, and young Barry is in the suit. And his whole body just looks really skinny, really weird, especially like in the head and neck area. It looks really weird. And he looks super skinny and it just looks off. I was expecting them to kill off Ben Affleck's Batman. That's the main reason I wanted to see this. That's what I thought they were going to do, but they didn't do that. He just kind of got. He just kind of got just blipped out of the timeline. And so there is an end credit scene where Barry is talking to what's his name. There's an end credit scene where Barry is talking to Arthur Aquaman, and he lets me know, hey, I went back, I jumped through all these times, and yet you're still saying everything's different. And it doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day. It's just that credit scene they threw in there. And that's basically the end of this whole movie. Again, I give it a 6 out of 10. The CGI was garbage. Young Barry was annoying. Michael Keaton was good, but I don't think he could have saved this damn movie. Uh Supergirl was okay, but like I said, because we didn't really get to know a lot about her character, there wasn't a whole lot that she could do to save this movie. Kirstie Clemens, she played Iris West. I thought her character was okay. She didn't really have like a big impact in the movie. She was kind of there and gone. She was in a few scenes, and then that was it. I thought the her almost getting hit by the truck or the car, and it was in this movie, but it wasn't. It was in a Justice League movie. Of course, that scene got cut for whatever reason. But overall, this movie was okay. It just wasn't up to I didn't go into the theaters with standards with this movie. I went into theater with just like, all right, let's see what this movie is about. And it didn't leave me disappointed, but I would have liked to at least it didn't leave me disappointed, but I would have liked to at least they've adapted the animated movie into this live action property. Like it would have been better if they would have had Superman because we've grown Superman, so it would have made more sense to have Henry Cavill Superman in this. On the flip side, they should have had what's his name? Um Thomas Wayne. Everybody had been talking about that for years. They really should have had him in this movie. It would have made sense. But no, they decided to cancel his character out, and it just didn't make. Well, they didn't cancel his character out. He just wasn't in this movie. But I just don't understand why they decided to not put his character in this movie. It would have made perfect sense instead of having a different version of Bruce Wayne. Um, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. As much as I want to see the DCEU continue, I am optimistic about what James Gunn is bringing to the future because what we have been getting so far has been straight crap. And I am kind of looking forward to my live stream that I'm going to do at the end of the year, where I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be doing a live stream talking about the end of the DCEU after the Aquaman movie that comes out, which I think comes out on Christmas. So I can't wait for that. That's gonna be. I mean, I know it's a long ways away, but yeah. Aside from all that, man, what is everybody up to today, man? I've got nobody in my live stream right now, man. I've been posting this like crazy. I've been trying to let people know ahead of time. Hey, I'm posting on Sundays around 7. Last month I did a live stream, it was like maybe 9 o'clock, but I'm trying to do it like much, much sooner now. So I don't know if everybody's out and busy, but yeah, that's one hard thing about being a YouTuber, trying to get your hours up, watch time hours up. Everybody says live stream, that's what I'm doing. But man, when you got nobody sitting here, you just kind of talking to yourself here. It's hard, man. It's hard. But I'm trying to do this on like a schedule. That way people know when I'm live streaming, that way you know when to expect me live stream. So again, man, I saw the Flash last night, 6 out of 10. I would not be surprised that excuse me, bugs anyway. If we don't get a sequel. which I don't think we are because I read something last night that this movie was it is the Flash to become worst box office flop in studio history, which I don't know if it's just WB history or if it's just in general, which I think it's just in general. And it's sad, man, but you know what? A lot of this, I think, was led to the downfall of this. Is a lot of people are already expecting the DC. A lot of people already know the DCEU is coming to an end. Two, Ezra Miller with all the stuff that he's done. Three, there hasn't been any like reason to see any DC movies recently because we already know again it's all coming to an end. You know what I mean? Warner Brothers isn't trying to put any more money into these movies. They're just like let them do what they got to do, let this whole thing die out, and then when it's done at the end of the year, we got two more movies with Blue Beetle and then Aquaman. And then once those movies are done, take 2024 off and come back in 2025. I think, like I was watching Robert Storm's live stream, and he was talking about they shouldn't come back with DC movies until 2026. And I actually agree. I think they should let it die for a couple of years and then bring it back. I think by then, the new Superman guy will be like 29, 30, 31. He'll be like early 30s, you know what I mean? So he'll still have a good 10 years. He can still play Superman. It's just disappointing to look at what DC has been doing lately. And I'm going to do something here, which is copy um, the StreamYard link. And if anybody wants to jump in, man, just to hang out and talk about this movie, um, so with all that being said, again, I'm optimistic, man. But here's my thing: I'm trying to be optimistic about what not David Gunn, James Gunn has for the future of the DCE. What I don't understand is if this movie been sitting in purgatory for the last 10, 12, 13 years. There's no reason it should not have been fully completed. Like I understand, what's going on now, but it's like you had all this hype from all these people who are talking about this movie and saying it was going to be good and all this other stuff, and now it's like, oh no, it's not. It's straight crap. Like it was hyped up from like celebrities, you know what I mean? And it didn't do good at all. It didn't do good at all. It came out looking like crap, and it's just a disappointment, man. It's just a disappointment, and I would have liked to see it do better as the whole DCEU, not just this movie. But unfortunately, that's not what we got. So again, I'm trying to be optimistic for what James Gunn has for the future of the DCU. But it just sucks to look back for me at what we got in this DCEU and see that it's been what it is. Like it's been this shitty, current bad state of movies. Like 10 years in already, we should be so far ahead from what we've gotten the last. We should be so far ahead. Yet it's been one stupid thing after another with DC. And it's been one stupid thing after another with DC. And I honestly cannot be more disappointed. Like, why wouldn't Warner Brothers just hire somebody who knew what to do with Superman and this whole DCEU? If y'all had no clue, now I know there was an article that came out some years back, maybe like 2 or 3, where Warner Brothers had no idea what they wanted to do with Superman's character. And they were like, yeah, we don't know what to do with Superman's character, so we're just going to give James Gunn his own movie. We're going to give Michael B. Jordan his own movie. And that was actually, I think it was a TV show on HBO Max back when it was HBO Max before they changed the name to Max. And y'all should have just hired somebody who knew what to do instead of greenlighting all these projects. It just made no sense to me whatsoever. And now here we are looking at the end of the road of this burning building and waiting for it to just dissolve into ash so the new DCU universe can be built on top of it. And it's just disappointing, man, because prime opportunity with all these castings. I don't understand how DC Warner Brothers messed this up. You had the blueprint laid out in front of you. I said this plenty of times by Marvel. Marvel laid out the blueprint. All y'all had to do was follow it. You give each person their own movie, and then you move forward, and y'all y'all give the big superhero team up. But no, y'all was in a rush to get that Marvel money, and now here you are hitting the reset button. They're Marvel's worst years, which has been this year and I believe last year. Y'all still can't compete with them. Like it's hard for me as a fan to go back and watch the old DC movies, doesn't matter which one, because everything is just so spaced out, separated. It doesn't connect, it doesn't click. And sure, there's been some people out there saying that DC doesn't have to go the Marvel route, connect all their movies. I get that, but at the same time, it's like you want to, you want to have everything to make sense, and unfortunately, everything has not been making sense. You know what I mean? Um, and it's just been one big disappointment after another. You know what I mean? So again, I'm trying to be optimistic. I don't want to, like I said, I'm glad that James Gunn has a vision. Um, I'm glad that David Safran has a vision. I don't get why Warner Brothers before didn't have a vision. They were doing what they wanted to do, which is throw everything at the wall and see what stuck. And then it's like, oh, if this ain't working here, we're just gonna move forward and give y'all something else. So it's like, oh, we can't figure out what to do with Superman, so we're just gonna move forward with another character. Why is Blue Beetle's movie still in production? Not in production, it's done. It's gonna be coming out. But why wasn't it ever green lit? I don't think it's gonna do good in theaters. I'm not trying to hate. I hope it is good in theaters, but it's not on the table as far as it get being pushed forward in the new DC universe. Because not people know anything about this character. So, yeah, this, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to be optimistic, but again with the Flash, it was an okay movie. Um, I'll be curious to see what the future looks like. Well, I'll see Blue Beetle. I don't know. Maybe it'll depend on word of mouth. I'll probably, if people say it's a bad movie, I'll probably see it just to see it. And if it's good, then I'll still see it. As far as moving away from that, Aquaman 2, I think that comes out on Christmas. Let me see. Aquaman 2, let me see. So, actually, let me check that out right now. When does Aquaman 2 come out? Let me see. And it's crazy because it has been Aquaman for a while now. So Aquaman 2 comes out actually December 20th. I thought it came out on Christmas. No, it comes out December 20th. So yeah, it comes out December 20th. And it's the last movie, man. It's the last movie in this DCEU. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people like myself are trying to be optimistic about what James Gunn has going for the future of the DC universe. So, you gotta strap in and just try and be hopeful about it, man. We got a new Superman, David Cornsway. I'm gonna just tell y'all this right now. Let's go and talk about the new Superman and Lois. I don't know anything about either one of these characters. I don't know about no David Cornsway. I don't think about the who's playing who's playing Lois, new Superman and Lois. Let me see. Let me see. David Cornsweet, and who is playing Lois? Okay, Rachel. I don't know the Rachel Brosnahan or something like that. So yeah, that's starting with Superman and Lois. I don't know anything about these characters. I don't know anything that they're starting. A lot of people have been trying to compare David Corn Sweat look to Henry Cavill. And in a small way, I can see Henry Cavill in a small way. But they both just look like Superman, Clark Kent. So why wouldn't you, right? Um, I hope it's. I hope it's. I hope they do a good job. And that's the crazy thing about it to me, man. I hope they do a good job. I hope they do a good job with this because it's crazy when you think about it. Man of Steel back in 2012 or no 2013, it was supposed to set up the whole DCEU. And now here we are again with the Superman Legacy. They're supposed to start off the whole new DC. And I think I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. When it comes to Superman Legacy, to me that title would fit a whole box set if I was gonna cover Superman from whoever played Superman first in the movie to the TV show to the other movies to the animated series and stuff like that. It would make sense to call that Superman Legacy. To call a single new movie Superman Legacy, it doesn't make sense. I've been good, man. I just been grinding, man, putting in the work, trying to get watching hours up. It's hard, man, when you ain't got nobody watching the streams or anything. So I just been grinding, man. Hope everything going good for you. I know you dropped a couple videos of the Puma Feast, so I gotta check those out. But again, man, I hope they are able to knock this out the park. Because if this movie fails, and I know it's gonna be a lot of people coming at this movie because Zack Snyder has such a hold on his fans, and it's not his fault. He had movies come out, they didn't do good, or not that they didn't do good. He just his vision fell apart, and Warner Brothers went in a different direction. And it's like, I hope the Superman movie does good because if it doesn't, I can imagine what that's going to do with Warner Brothers going forward. And people talking about the superhero fatigue, is everybody already tired of superhero movies? You know what I mean? Is everybody already tired of you know Marvel? Because Marvel hasn't been doing too good lately, and then DC has been doing terrible for a while now. Um, So but I think them taking a good year off, even though I think it should be two. I think they should take 2 years off and then bring it out in 2026. But I think them taking a good time off and getting their ducks in a row is the best thing for Warner Brothers and DC because you know right now I'm just waiting for everything to just get out the way, clean up the mess, and then hit the reset button because it's hard to look at this time period for me as a fan of Superman and Batman and be and just be excited because all everything has been hit and miss. It's been one good movie, then two or three misses. One good movie, then two or three misses. Um, Thanks, man. See you later, Puma Fist. So, yeah, this current stream of movies that we have over the last year, 2 years from DC hasn't been hitting, and it's a disappointment, man. For real, for real. So I'm hoping they can get their butts out of their backside, get their head out of their asses. Is what I'm trying to say, because it's like I want to see DC do good. When I first saw that they were bringing out their own universe, I was like, oh, they just copy Marvel. But then, once they started to get the ground, once they started to get it going, I was like, oh man, let's see what they can do. And obviously, it's been train wreck after train wreck after train wreck after train wreck after train wreck, and it just hasn't been good, and it's been disappointing. So, yeah, like I said, I'm hoping that Warner Brothers with the new regime with Zaslav and James Gunn can officially get it going in a better direction. Like I said, it's just crazy to me that this new movie, this Superman Legacy, is going to be the start of this new DC universe where Superman, aka Man of Steel, was the start of the old regime. And so I can imagine the pressure that he's under to get this right. Like he has to get everything right from top to bottom, storyline, characters, everything. I hope they find a better version of what's his name? I hope they find a better version of Lex Luthor, man. Because Lex Luthor we had in Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor didn't do it for me at all. So I'm hoping they find a better Lex Luthor. That's just my opinion. But man, I posted to Twitter, man. Nobody got in there but Pooh Fist. Let's see here. Let's see. We're posting it all week, man. Not all week, but a few days. I actually had to change the post because I'm still catching up on movies. Like I still gotta finish watching what's that big movie that came out? John Wick. I still gotta watch John Wick. I did want to catch Dial of Destiny, but I didn't catch that yet. I do want to see. I still want to see it because I've seen people's reviews, and everybody's saying the chicken movie is really annoying. I want to see that. I saw the one he did back in 2008, but it's been so long. I can't remember what Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. So yeah, I want to see this movie, man. I like adventure movies. They're my kind of thing. The last thing I seen in theater before this movie was The Blackening. I thought that was a fun movie to watch. Um, let me see if I can. Like I said, post it on Twitter. Let me see. I'm posting it on Twitter. So hopefully, as long as I'm staying consistent with my live streams, people will be, checking it out or something, man. But I posted it on Twitter, man. So yeah, I'm just hoping, people will check it out. But let me go and jump off Twitter because we're staying too long and then forget them on live. So again, man, this is David Zaffron or whatever, James Gunn, man, get it together. Get it together. You gotta come hit strong with Superman Legacy because nobody is gonna be excited for the rest of your slate if y'all don't come out to get hit like this. Now, the one thing I don't understand is why he's still keeping some of the actors around from the DCEU. I understand if he like working with them, but it's just kind of confusing. Like he's keeping some of the characters around. That's just my thing. Like it ain't a full teardown if you got some of the characters still sticking around. You know what I mean? But again, I'm trying to have faith because I want to see this do good. I want to see this do good. I want to see the DC universe do good. I don't think it's ever going to compete with Marvel because Marvel is just too far into their journey. Even it's looking rocky, or has been looking rocky over the last year, 2 years since the end of Phase 4 back in 2019. But I gotta have some type of faith, man, that they are going to get their heads out of their butts and get it together. And they have not Marvel. I'm talking about DC. But yeah, DC's got to get it together. Marvel's been rocky. I don't like I said, I don't think that DC is ever going to catch up, but it shouldn't be their goal to catch up. It should be their goal to be in their own lane, drop movies and TV shows that people want to watch. And I think taking a year off to get their stuff together is a good idea. Get all your ducks in a row. Hopefully, James Gunn is taking some things away from what Marvel has done and added it to his DC universe. But yeah, we got two more movies before this whole DCEU is done officially. Um, like I said, I can't wait to see what people talk about at the end of it all because I know a lot of people are going to be probably going through a lot of rankings and talking about, well, what does the end of this DCEU mean for them, and what are they looking forward to the most with James Gunn, the future of the DC universe. So you know, it is what it is. But since I'm the only one here in this live stream, I guess everybody's up busy. I'm gonna go ahead and end it right now, man. Boomface, thanks for dropping by, man. I definitely catch you on my next live stream next Sunday. Maybe I'll put it later. Maybe everybody won't be as busy. Hopefully around like 7:30 to 8, 7:30 to 8:30. So I'll see you on my next live stream, man. Peace.